Hello, and welcome to Getting the Most from Your StatSafe. Today's tips we will be sharing with you are about adding different security levels to each location in your StatSafe and what the different security levels do. We'll start by opening up the cart in your portal. So open up the location that you would like to edit. You'll select Edit Settings and then select Machine Configuration. Each location within your cart is listed, including any external locations like a refrigerator or an IV location. Every location can be set to customize security features. We'll start by looking at one of the drawers. Each drawer is individually customizable, and you can select different ones for each location. So the first choice you can make is Requires Witness. Requires Witness means that there has to be 2 people present at every pull who have access to the cart and have their own individual logins. They can be a witness, they can be a user, or they could be a supervisor, but it requires 2 logins at every pull, so there are 2 people present. Require PIN on audit says that whenever anyone is auditing the cart, it requires them to enter the 4-digit PIN on each individual card. This helps eliminate any errors that might be made and prevents them from counting the wrong card within the cart. Required security code is the highest level of security, and we will go through this separately, but it requires that the nurse, when pulling the item, will be given a 8-digit code, and they will call the pharmacy and receive a 4-digit code back before being given access to the location of the drawer. The last security feature that you can add is Supervisor Only Accept. And Supervisor Only Accept means that only a supervisor can accept items into that location. You can put this setting on any drawer, or you can put it on only drawers like narcotics, and then only a supervisor would have access to the narcotics drawer to load and stock inventory in that drawer location. So now that we're going to customize this drawer, I'm going to set it with Requires Security Code and Requires Witness. I'll hit the Save button, and that will save these functions on drawer 1 within our cart. If you have a bin module, each individual bin module can be customized and can also set for Requires Witness, requires a security code, and you can set any of these to each individual bin or location. So in this case, I'm going to have bin A and bin B are going to serve as individual narcotic bins within our drawer. And so I'm going to require a witness and I'm going to require a security code at both of these locations. So after I have saved these functions, we'll then go in and show you how they operate within the cart and what it looks like when a nurse goes to pull an item. We are now logged into our cart like the nurse user would see. I am logged in currently as a supervisor, and I'm going to go remove an item, but it would work the same for a regular user. I'm going to choose a patient. Once I select my patient, I'm going to pick my item. And the item that we are going to fill today for this patient is an ibuprofen. So we are going to fill the ibuprofen from our narcotics location. I'm going to hit select. They need 2 ibuprofen, and then I'm going to select finish. And now you see that a witness is required. So I cannot access this location and nothing will open until I select the witness and my witness is with me and they enter their credentials. So my witness who is currently with me enters their credentials into the cart. For biometric cards, it will be a finger scan. And now you'll see they get an 8-digit code. They will now call the pharmacy and present them with this 8-digit code, and the pharmacy will give them a 4-digit code back. The users will not have access to this location until this code has been retrieved by the pharmacy. The bin and the cart is fully secured. Now we will retrieve the order code for the nurse who is calling. So the nurse will call the pharmacy with their 8-digit code, and the pharmacy will pull up order codes here on the left, and then manage order codes. There are several ways that you can manage order codes, but the main way is to decode the order code. So I'm going to select decode order code here, and you'll see I have a code for the order code log. I now am on the phone with the nurse at the facility, and I get the code they have presented me. And I enter that code. There are some notes that I can add. So the call is from the nurse, and the patient needs ibuprofen. And you can put notes in however you would like to select your notes. I hit save. Now I have received a 4-digit code back. I will now give this 4-digit code back to the nurse, and they will enter it into the cart to gain access to the medication. Now the nurse will enter the 4-digit code that she has received from the pharmacy. They are one-time use codes, and they can only be used one time. I'll now remove the item. I'll put the pin in and follow all the regular procedures. Bin B has opened, and the nurse has been given access to the medication. In the portal, you can manage your order codes under the order codes area. There are several ways that you can create and manage order codes to be used within the cart. The decode order code is the feature where the nurse calls you live with an 8-digit number. You enter it, decode it, and give them the 4-digit code back. You can also create order codes ahead of time and manage them in the Manage Order Codes area. You can select Add Special Code. You can select the cart that you want to create the code for. Codes can be assigned to specific patients, to specific drugs, and they can have expiration dates set on them, or they can have no patient and no item assigned to it. If I wanted to assign an item to a patient, within this card, I could select my patient, I could select an item, and it will create a code for me. I can say no expiration date, or I can make this code good for 48 hours. And for 48 hours, we would have this code to use only on this patient and only on this specific drug. I hit save, and it now has created us this order code for Jane Doe that can only be used one time on acetaminophen within the cart only for that patient. Again, you can also add a special order code based strictly on the medication. So I can choose just a medication. I can say this medication only and set no expiration date and no patient. And now this code can be used at any time for this narcotic within the bins or the location of the drawers. I hit save, and I now have a special code just for this one item within the cart. I can also add a special order code for carts that have no patient and no drug and either an expiration date or no expiration date assigned to it. All you do is you hit the save button up here, and it now creates a generic code that can be used within this cart only for any item that requires a security code with no expiration date. So it's a one-time code that can be given to the facility to be used to pull any item that requires an order code. It can be used on any patient and any medication. You can track and manage your order codes here in the Manage Order Codes area. You can sort them by date created. You can sort them by the cart. You can sort them by either the medication or the patient. You can look at the notes, and then you can look at the portal user who created these codes. All of this information can be downloaded into a Excel or a PDF format report for your use. Again, these are all different levels of security that you can add to your StatSafes in the portal.